Let's go back to our top story. Local governments will stop announcing brands of doses to be used in vaccination sites. The Interior Department says this is to avoid brand preference. But the agency says vaccinees will still be informed about available shots on site before inoculation. We now go above and beyond the headlines with the head of the vaccine expert panel, Dr. Nina Gloriani. Dr. Gloriani, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, let's go straight to the issue. No?
Mhm.
What is the problem here? Because para bang, is the problem a problem of communication, of communicating? Because
Uh,
nauna yung announcement na, oh, hindi kayo sasabihan kung ano yung brands ang available sa vaccination site. And then, mayat maya, this morning, nilinaw na pala ng Health Department ni Maria Rosario Vergere, spokesperson, Asik Vergere, na pagsasabihan naman yung mga vaccinees right before the vaccination. So is this a problem of communication or a lack of communication?
well, I think there are two things there, no? Yung first, the announcement that that the LGU should not announce the brands they will be administering at any particular site. And the other message there is that you still have the vaccinees will still have informed consent, at that site when they get to be vaccinated. So at the time that they get to the vaccination site, they will have to sign that informed consent where it says what the vaccine will be. So there are two messages there. So, and we have been consistently sending messages from even way back that there should not be any, choose we should not be choosy at all because we have assured the safety of all these EUA approved vaccines.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, it is very clear to us. As a matter of fact, that is our story, and that is what I said just a while ago. Ang problema lang po kasi, para bang, like you said, no, two messages na pwede namang dapat isang message na lang para nga hindi magka-confusion. Because isn't that very important, ma'am? Hindi po ba in the government's pandemic response that communication is clear and very precise?
Yes, it's very important to communicate properly. Well, unfortunately, people tend to, do what they want sometimes. I think this was not even expected that they will all, crowd there. And we're in a pandemic. If you see something like that what we're seeing on TV now, what they get will not be the vaccine. What they get will be the COVID. You don't know how many of these people there are actually asymptomatic carriers. So this is what we want to avoid,
Yes,
and I
yes.
think that's what this communication is all about.
Mhm. Right. Well, hopefully, hindi na ganito ulit. But anyway, Dr. Gloriani, I wanted to ask also, no, since you brought it up also, and this is very important, no, the message of the administration, not just this government, but governments all around the world, the message really is that the best vaccine is the one that's in your arm or the one that is available, right?
Yes,
Pare-pareho sila halos ng efficacy. They are all effective against severe hospitalization and death. So, um, I suppose that is the message that you want to bring across and to repeat over and over again.
yes, precisely that. That all of these vaccines we have evaluated all of them, and they have almost all of them 100% vaccine efficacy against the severe form. Of course, they vary in the efficacy against the mild and moderate forms, but still you want efficacy against the severe form. And there are also newer data coming up now that in the real world conditions, most of these vaccines actually will perform well. So we have those data now.
Okay. Yes. Dr. Gloriani, one last question. No? So, we have heard of people who have decided to postpone their immunization, their vaccination because nga they prefer a certain brand. Kapag ganun po yung nangyayari, do they put themselves at risk? Meaning, if they did have that opportunity to be already vaccinated, tapos ayaw lang nila yung brand, and then they say, ay, antayin ko na lang yung blank.
Yes,
Are they actually putting themselves at even greater risk?
they are putting themselves at greater risk and others at greater risk because we are telling everyone now we have cases of variants which are very highly transmissible. Many of them are actually asymptomatic. So it's either you are asymptomatic or somebody is asymptomatic, and delaying getting the vaccine is really very bad for all of us, not just for the person, but for all others around us. Now, if you look at the data from abroad, those who have actually succeeded in reducing their transmission, no? Like Israel, for instance, they did their vaccination swiftly. You have we are racing against time here. That's what we have been saying. The variants are here. You cannot wait. You have to protect a big segment of the population the soonest time possible. So delaying is not good for any of us.
Yun nga lang sana tuloy-tuloy na yung supply at dumating na talaga
Yeah.
para ma-achieve na nga yung herd immunity and so that people can just get themselves vaccinated. Anyway, Dr. Nina Gloriani, ma'am, thank you very much for joining us this
Thank you
evening on
very
the
much,
show.
Pia. Thank you.